Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne's Shine of Remembrance. Today, our commemoration is remembering the Armistice of Mudros, and members of the Lemnos Gallipoli Commemorative Committee have been here on the grounds of the Shrine at the Lemnos tree this morning, and they have made their way up into the sanctuary. I welcome all of you and those who are watching online. Here at the Shrine, we embrace the diversity of our community and we acknowledge the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on which we honour Australian Defence Force service and sacrifice. We pay our respects to elders past and present. To commence this morning's commemoration, I welcome to the microphone the Master of Ceremonies, Jim Claven.
Thank you, Squadron Leader Steve Campbell-Wright. Welcome one and all. First, can I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand and pay my respects to the elders past, present, future. I'd also like to acknowledge a few of the individuals that have come here today take part in our service. Ms Chris Stambolides of the Christian Association of Australia, Samela Stamatopoulos and Yota Stavridou, representing the Australian Association of Pontian Associations and the Education Association, Hellenism in Australia, Paul Sigleris from the Pan-Messianian Brotherhood, Pavaflesis, and Evan Binos from the Lemnian village of Contias. We are gathered on this day to commemorate the signing of the Armistice of Mudros that came into effect at 12 noon on the 30th of October 1918. Excuse me, sorry, I've got a bit of hay fever. The armistice brought to an end the First World War across the Eastern Mediterranean and the Middle East, from the battlefields of Macedonia and Thrace in northern Greece to the plains of Syria. Australian soldiers, airmen, sailors and medical staff, including nursing personnel, for them the war was now over. From this day the guns fell silent across the region and thousands of Allied servicemen captured across the battles fought in the region, including Gallipoli, were released and began their journey home. These included the men of the AE2 submarine who had been captured in the scuttling of the vessel after the successful penetration of the narrows of the Dardanelles during the Gallipoli campaign. Negotiated and signed that the previous day aboard the great British warship HMS Agamemnon that had taken part in the Gallipoli campaign over 3 years before, the armistice signing at Lemnos in Great Bay of Mudros was significant. Lemnos had served as the base for the Gallipoli campaign. Nearly all soldiers who served at Gallipoli had spent time there. During the campaign, Mudros Bay was the location for many Australian personnel, men and women like Brigadier John Monash, Corporal Albert Jacker VC, Private John Simpson and Staff Nurse Evelyn Hutt. Lemnos' role in the Gallipoli campaign is commemorated by the plaque and tree dedicated in the Shrine Gardens outside. Maintained as an Allied base for the rest of the war, Mudros Bay was now the stage for the final act of the war that saw the signing of the armistice. Today, we also remember the sailors of the two Australian warships who were part of the Allied fleet in Mudros Harbour during that signing, HMS Torrent, HMS Yarra. They were soon joined by other Australian warships, HMS Parramatta, HMS Brisbane. We also commemorate the two sailors of HMS Brisbane who were the last Australian casualties of the war to be buried on Lemnos. There were stoker John Godey of Bendigo and able seaman Thomas Schitz from Sandringham, who were buried in Lemnos. These two sailors joined the many others, Australians and other Allied personnel, who lie in the Allied war cemeteries on Lemnos. I'll hand back to Squadron Leader Campbell-Wright. I would now call on Deb Stewart, the granddaughter of Nurse Evelyn Hutt, who served on Lemnos, to lay a symbolic wreath on behalf of all of us gathered here today in recognition of all who served in the war fronts and the armistice that brought the war to an end. I now call on Colonel Retired Jan McCarthy, the patron of our Lemnos Gallipoli Committee, to read the ode as part of the service. Prior to this, Jan, on behalf of the Nurses RSL, will lay a wreath.
Those of you that can, would you please stand? Thank you. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget. Thank you. That concludes the ode service.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We
now invite all who wish to take a poppy and lay it in remembrance. Yeah. No. Just. You do that?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for attending today's commemoration. Those in the sanctuary who wish to may lay a personal tribute in the form of a poppy in one of the urns beside the stone of remembrance. That concludes today's commemoration. Thank you one and all for attending. Thank you also for watching online.